Oh. I'm looking for some old photos at the moment here. That's how you know I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. Wow, there's people already watching. What an exciting time. Whoever's watching, please say hello. Hey, where are you calling in from? That's not how this works, but it could work like that. I don't know. Nobody knows, really. Uh, well, Dave is here. Dave is here from Canada. Joey is here. Joey is here from Joeyville, also known as New York, or Nuevo York, or Nouveau York, or just New York. Well, Dave, this is a very exciting time for both of us, I'm sure. Always first in our hearts. How about that? Somebody, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Earlier in the week, I landed. Stay out of the ocean. He's in Ottawa. Uh, I'm not. I'm Aquamaning. I'm on my Facebook profile picture. I am on my Facebook profile looking for these things. I had question. I had posted a, hey, what do you want me to talk about? Other than, the secret to my shiny hair or whatever. And people had some thoughts. People had some questions. Can always use more, because as much as I'm, I guess, fine with just letting caffeinated Sully drive this thing. Oh, you know what? One thing I didn't do. It would be good to make these things better. Here, let me flip this over here. Okay, we should probably sound a little better now. Hank, good morning to you. He is in Massachusetts, or at least he lives in Massachusetts. I don't know where he is right now. My tracker doesn't show him. So kudos to you. And one of the things that people suggested was talking about like failed designs and that sort of thing. And it got me thinking about that sort of thing. And I have some like pencil drawings as opposed to crayon drawings or chalk drawings, cave drawings, blood drawings. Years ago, years ago, I just had some a late night of like sketching out headstocks like rapid fire, and there were a few that I thought would be like, okay, oh, you know what? I think I know where they would be. I'm gonna go email spelunking here. Because what I would like to try and do, because I think I can do that with this, is to like bring an image on, maybe, and if so, I could maybe show them to you. But I don't really know how fun that is. Stu, greetings to you in Wisconsin. You'll be in London tomorrow. Well, what are you doing? Okay, let's talk about that. I want to hear all about. This would be a great time for me to be able to like bring someone on camera. There was a while when you could do that on like Facebook live streams and Instagram live streams, and maybe you still can. I just haven't been doing that in the native app for a while. But I want to go to London. That sounds like a really good idea. I would love to visit London. Yeah. I hope you have a lovely time in jolly old England, as it's often called. I've also heard people say to bring a picture of the sun with you, because you won't see it while you're there. Dave's got a question. How many people have downloaded the pickup DI files and found their pickup? One of the wonderful aspects of the pickup demo video that our dear friend Dave did. He had some fun alliteration. That's got to count for something, right? Is that now I don't really understand all of this. I mean, technically I do. But like when Dave did all of the pickup demos, you can like download the files and then like put them in through like your own digital audio workstation, or DAW as the people call it, and you can manipulate it with your own sound, and then you will be able to hear what Dave is playing like through your own rig. It's kind of like Dave is in your house or wherever your DAW is, and it's like he's playing for you this riff, and you can hear it through your own stuff. And then that way you can be like, oh, well, do I like how the Jardiniere sounds? Or do I maybe prefer the sea salt? Or do I like the redacted pickup with the ceramic magnet? Or maybe the redacted pickup with the Alnico 8 magnet? Nobody knows, but you could do that. I mean, you could do a lot of things, but that is one of those things that you could do. That Dave the Lovely, that was his medieval name. Dave the Lovely. That's what he did for you, and for me, but primarily for you. It's pretty fucking nice, don't you think? I think. John, good morning. A spontaneous weekend vacation, dude. I want your life. I want to have spontaneous weekend vacation trips. Hola to you, Sardar. Where are you? Where are you watching? That's what I want to know. Landon, do I hate today? Well, I don't know yet. I haven't been in the greatest of moods lately, so. I could hate today. Give it some time. I hope not. Okay, this is becoming very international. Guten Tag to Paul. I don't think Paul's in Germany, but you know what? Let's just say Paul's in Germany. We don't know where he is. Why am I holding my coffee mug like this? There's a handle. This is my weekend coffee cup. It's got the Louvre on there, right there, and a little metro stop. Isn't that fun? Okay. We're almost 9 minutes in, and I've talked about absolutely nothing. Scott with the solid use of umlauts, not only over the O in his first name, but over the A in his last name. See, I think that's the thing with umlauts. You got to balance them. If you've got two words, you got to, because umlauts are heavy and you need proper umlaut balance. It's just fun to say umlaut, isn't it? Yeah. Good morning to you, Scott, or good day. Where are you? Chris, good morning to you. Chris got his, the guitar that he built in class back, and because we had it painted for him, and then I put it together and sent it off. And let me tell you, people, it's a super dope shape. And there's parts of me where I'm kind of like, pretty dope. And it's got a ridiculously good quilt top on it. It's like painted in like one of the wake surf kind of burst pattern, like a orangish to yellow. It's super dope. It's got a rosewood neck. Super dope. This past Thursday, I had someone who's local who took a class come by and finish his guitar out this past Thursday. Like a super strat style, but it's got like Rosa maple neck and a Zero Cody fretboard, and It's fun because his name's Cody, like Zero Cody. How about that? What do you think about that? That's kind of fun. It's like it was meant to be. And it's got like lumen dot inlays, which is kind of fun. And yeah, so that's cool. He came by, we finished that out. Had some lunch. Fucking A. Sardar you're in Uzbekistan. All right, man. Well, I hope that you're doing well over there, and I hope that do you have nice weather there right now? I hope so, because like it's gloomy as fuck out here, and I'm not saying I'm ready to open a vein because of it, but I'm also not saying that. Rodrigo, good morning to you. He's in Chile. See, this is like quite an international affair right now. We've got Uzbekistan, we've got Santiago, Chile, we've got Ottawa, Canada. We've got Dave is in the Greater Toronto, Canada area. We've got New York. We've got Wisconsin. We've got Scott, the Captain Umlaut down here in Melbourne, Australia. Chris, it's so beautiful. If you're thinking about it, do the build class. Yes. Greg Platzer. Mr. Sullivan. Mr. Platzer, how are you? Greg's in Pennsylvania. Why wouldn't he be? That's where he lives. John is in Alabama. There's a song about it. With the umlauts over the L. I think we need to put umlauts over every single letter, because if we're going to get ridiculous. I do have a t-shirt that a friend sent me where it's like in the old Motley font, and it's like, oh, it's super dope. It makes me happy. And like, yeah, I know I can't make, I would feel really bad making that available. Cause like, I would feel bad about it. Not bad. I would just feel uncomfortable, whatever. You know, be nice if that would be nice. I would like to have my guitars in more countries. It seems like that's about to get a lot harder. Know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck. Yeah, that was quite a spontaneous burst of energy, wasn't it? I'm glad. One thing that you guys probably know, Greg. Greg is an insanely talented builder repair dude. Like if you have an exploded Gibson, which, I mean, who hasn't seen one of those? Greg can fix it in a manner that the guitar won't show up as like a meme with like, you know, screws and brackets and shit on it. Yeah, he's the dude. Like it's kind of like he could reconstruct. He just fixes the shit and fixes it all better. Like, you know, for money dollars and, you know, for fun, maybe even for sport. I don't know. He probably could. He would be really good at it. He would be like world champion headstock repair guy, dude, man. Remember guy, man, dude? Whatever happened to him? Whoa. So, Dave, Rodrigo did that. He downloaded all of the stuff. So, Rodrigo, you've got a fair amount of, let's see, like, so your Raven that has a secret menu and an Al Pastor, I don't remember what's in Sad Gillis. Is that a salty bastard in an Al Pastor? From watching the video, do you maybe have a new favorite? Tell us in the comments, won't you? Okay. So let's get to some of the questions that, well, okay, here, I kind of already alluded to this. How do I do this? How do I, is it in the captions? No. Hang on, text block. It's here. Okay, so I go like this, and then I paste it. Okay, and then we go like this, and let's see if this comes up. Okay, Matthew Grenler asks, I've not caught any of the recent streams, so maybe you covered this. If it's not too touchy of a topic, how do you see the tariffs impacting your supply chain? I think the best answer I have is I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be good. The supply chain stuff, that has been happening for a while. I think of specific. So one of the companies that I get parts from is Hipshot. And while Hipshot is based in the US, those tuners are made in Korea. They're made in the Hanchang factory in Korea. So I imagine that I don't know. It's entirely possible. So if those tuners would in whatever hardware that they have made overseas, I don't know. But if you look at the tuner base plates, you can see the Hanchang logo on them. So I imagine those are going to get impacted by that. From what I've looked at, stuff from South Korea is subject to like a 25% tariff on that, which is similar to taxes that people have to pay, like if I ship a guitar to somebody in the EU. So I mean, I guess it's similar, but we haven't really had to deal with that. Or at least, sorry, I personally haven't had to deal with that as far as I know, or it's already, kind of passed down. But the one thing that I'm real concerned about is, the Conspiracy Series guitars, those are made in Korea. And up until this point, those were covered under the free trade agreement that we have with South Korea. And so they would be exempt from, there weren't any import taxes or duties or things like that. Now, if there's going to be a 25% gratuity fee added, I don't know how that, is that something that like it comes into the country and then like the carrier or whomever is like, hey, you have to pay an extra shitload of money or we're not going to send this to you? Or is it one of those things where like, I think in the past, like sometimes I've had some like samples come from Korea and you put the certificate of origin on there and they should see that and go, oh, there aren't any additional things, duties to be added or anything like that. But like UPS and, well, maybe not so much UPS. UPS has been kind of okay, but like FedEx, they just kind of blow right by it. And then they'll just like bill me, I think it was whatever it was. It was, 5, 10%, 15%. Because like, while we have a free trade agreement with them, not everything is covered under it. So it was just kind of like, oops, we didn't look. And, that used to just be billed to my FedEx account. And something like that, $100 just being automatically charged for one guitar, that's one thing. That's kind of like, it's not that it's not a big deal, but having to tens to 20s of thousands of dollars on top of something that's already been paid for, that is a whole other enchilada, as you might suspect. So I am super concerned about that. You know, yeah. But stuff like tuners and bridges and things like that. I mean, yeah, I imagine I'm gonna get some sort of increased notice from my suppliers for that, but because that has been happening over the past few years. I don't pass that on to people. I just eat it, and I will do my best to continue to do that. But yeah, I think it's going to change a lot of things for everybody. I truly hope that, I don't really have faith in this is regardless of who's living in the house. I don't really have a whole lot of faith in our elected representatives in general. But I know that they can, if they decide that they want to work together, stop the enforcement of these things. Let's see if they do. I think that's the best answer. But yeah, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be good. So that's what I got for that. So let's move on to something else. Wait, sorry. Let me also just check the live stream because I can't see the live chat. Let's see. Okay, Dave did. Catfish. Good morning. Oh, okay. See, Rodrigo calls it Rad Gillis now, which is fine because so this was a 624 that was painted to look like Brad Gillis's red Strat. And so instead of it having a black pickguard, the black pickguard was painted on it. And we had a little bit of delamination of the clear coat. And that's bad. And so that thing sat for quite some time. And when Rodrigo and family were visiting us from Chile, Rodrigo saw it and he's like, "Oh, that's dope. Can we finish that out?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, like we could, but we've got some delamination here that I can stabilize, but like, it's a symptom of a larger issue with the mechanical bond. So I'm like, if you ding it somewhere, it could delaminate there, and like, you know what I'm saying." But anyway, so that guitar, while it was living in limbo, we called it Sad Gillis. So, but Rodrigo, we finished it out for him, and he plays it a lot, and you can see it in videos. And so he calls it Rad Gillis. So that has the salty. So the sea salt and the burninate are definitely on my radar. Cool. That's cool. I like the sea salt. I like them all. I like the secret menu. For many, 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 many years, that was our default bridge install. What I like about it is that it does everything pretty well, and I think it's a good baseline for a multitude of styles. It's responsive. It's got clarity. It can distort really well, and but the sea salt's also fun. They're all fun. They've all got their thing. That trella behind you haunts me. It's too perfect. You wanna see it up close? Okay. Let's see. It is a fun one. Let's see. So it is good and beat. This one has a Salty Bastard and an Al Pastor. There we go. This thing is a lot of fun. We got hollow blocks. It's got 6 tuners on it, and mahogany neck that we scrape them back. The thing that I like one of the things that some people don't like about nitro is that like the backs of the necks can feel sticky,
after you've played it for a while. So it's fun to just kind of scrape back the playing area and oil it. So, then you can kind of have a perfect. You can kind of have best of both worlds. Evan, I appreciate that. There have been quite a few times when I'm like, I'll make that thing available if somebody wants to buy it. But that is definitely one that I would miss. We are actually, I've got a client who ordered one just like it. So that's in the paint process, but it's got a wraparound bridge instead of a Floyd. So it'll be cool to see a sibling. So when we're done beating it up and finishing it out, yeah. Well, I'll do like a group shot of the two of them. Nitro, too much hairspray. I don't get what you're coming from. It's all right. Too much nitro. Oh, the band. Yes. Yeah. Assad, how are you? How's it going? How's everything by you? Okay, so then let's get to the next question. Oh yeah, buy one. Especially now that I've got, I think I pretty much have all of the materials on hand to make one. Let's see. Oh, another thing we've been doing with trellis is chambering them out. In the last couple weeks, I have a client who, Mrs. Sully's going to Pilates. I'll see you later. I have a client who wanted me to make him a trella, but chambered. And so I did. That required some fun. That required some fun new CAD work and programming that my pal Nick at Prophecy Instruments helps me out with. Nick is amazing and has been consulting with me for, over 2 years now. And has been very helpful with that stuff because I'm like, I can do all of it. There's some stuff that I'm just like, how am I gonna do this? But it's nice, like some of the stuff you just have to try and delegate, because there's only so many things I can do at once. Anyway, so we did some chambering. And the thing with this particular guitar is that it has a very specific top that is going on it. It's got a really, really, really nice quilt top. Really, really nice. It was insanely expensive, but really, really good quilt. Like quilt is hard to find in thicknesses for carved tops, because I think if you're going to cut a quilt billet up, cut it into as many pieces as you can so you can resell it. And so, carved top, you need something, you need thicker. So this particular top, there was a post that we shared recently. There was a post that we shared recently of a raven that I made 7 or so years ago with a ridiculously good quilt top. The top on this trella is like that one. It's at least as good. And so I was real nervous because, if I don't like to try and build something to like a specific target weight, because it's like, if you make the thing and, you're trying to make it light, get lightweight woods and that sort of thing. But like, what if you make the whole thing and then all of a sudden, it's too heavy. So now I've got a fucking guitar that is no good for this person. And like, what happens if that's a very custom thing? Anyway, the idea of going back to the drawing board and just making something again and again and again, it's like a whole like Goldilocks thing, right? So I needed to know how to not do that. So I had, I weighed out all of my mahogany blanks. I weighed out all of, I weighed out all the mahogany blanks, and I started out with stuff that was like definitely heavier. Um, and because like the one thing that it would accomplish is like, okay, I'm starting out with a really heavy blank, and then I'm going to go and do the chambers before doing anything else, because like I got to do the chambers, and then the top has to be glued on, and then we're going to flatten it all out again, because it's always going to move, and if I've got to put something back on the CNC table, it needs to be perfectly flat. So I weighed it after the chambers were done, but it was still like a complete blank. And then like how much it weighed after we glued the top on, and then all of this stuff. And then, so then the first test, we got the body done, and gosh, I think it was 4 pounds, little over, something like that. And so that particular guitar with the body and the neck, it was like 5.5 pounds. And then, like with the hardware and all that stuff, it'll be like in the sixes, which for like one of these, like that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I was happy about that. So then we made the one for my client, and like that one, it had like a much thinner blank, not thinner, a much lighter blank to begin with. And that thing came out to be like 3. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be kind of fun. And then I'm kind of like, oh my God, I don't know. It's going to be like, what happens if you take out too much of the body, and then you still have like, you can't chamber out a neck, and then you still have 6 tuners. And, I'm afraid that balance is going to become an issue. But I took this super light guitar, and then I took like all the pickups, all the hardware, and then just kind of put it on the scale. And unless the paint adds a couple pounds, which it won't, it was like in that 6. It was exactly 6 pounds. And so I'm repeating myself a little bit. I was a little nervous, but then I realized that the blue pinstripe, the Pelham blue pinstripe trella that we did, that one was like 6.5 pounds, and that thing balanced just fine. So I'm like, all right. So that was something good that was going on recently. I don't remember what made me think of that, but because like when we do the ones with the Floyds, they can get a little heavy, because like Floyds do add a little bit of weight to it. But I'm going to get that shirt. I need to make sure that this is on the shirt, on the website. I think it is. If it's not, just message me. Gregory Wolfgang Spack checking in. Oh, nice, dude. I'm really glad. The salty Al Pastor combo. It's a great pairing. Good, 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 and good. I'm really glad that you like it. Yeah, those Ravens are dope. Pretty good. Okay, so I know that we have some other questions. Let's see. Okay, so much like, so the question posed at the title of this video. My God, can I try and make sense for once? Can I? Let's get rid of this. And we're gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like this. Let's see what happens. Okay, does this work? Okay, cool. So here's a question from our pal Mark Stevenson. Tell me about this purple heart wood you're using for fretboards. Other than the dark color, what makes it work for guitar fretboards? I really wish that I had the first Astro here. Oh shit, I do. Hang on. I'm gonna go this way, but I still got a hot mic. So, and that's okay. So, could you guys hear all that? Let me go back to the live chat for a second. Is anybody commenting? No, nobody's commenting. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So, this is fun to do. Isn't that fun? Michael says no. You couldn't hear like when I was all the way over there. I've got my little mic on. Oh, I wonder if it. Okay. So this is roasted purple heart. Now I know that here. I think we can. I'll just take this down here. What makes it work for fretboards? So we get the gist, right? Right. Okay. So this is roasted purple heart. I know this isn't very clear, but what I like about it, a few things. Number one, it's sustainable, so that's cool because ebony is not, and ebony is, not always the most ethically sourced kind of thing. Just ask Gibson, and they always got to catch a stray bullet from me, figuratively speaking. And so, ebony is kind of hard to, it's not hard to get, but like the stuff that's easy to get, we've been on the internet, right? And we've seen like, oh, there's something with this ebony. It looks like it's got spots or something, and it's garbage, and this shouldn't. I paid whatever I paid for this guitar, and that's just unacceptable. Dude, it's a fucking tree. It's a fucking tree. It's a fucking tree. It was part. You know what? I take that back. It was part of a fucking tree. Settle down. I don't like to dye ebony fretboards. I don't like to dye fretboards in general. Because eventually, that dye it penetrates, but not like all the way through. So like, it's going to come off on your hands. It's just don't. And, I don't really have an issue with using ebony that has some streaks, and things like that. But, sometimes something that's got a lot of streaks in it can, to my eyes, interfere with the overall look of the thing. And so, you try and find stuff that is a little bit more uniform in color, and do your best. So a few years ago, Luthier's Mercantile, it was since closed their doors, unfortunately. They had this stuff called Royal Blackwood. When no one else would, Royal Blackwood. And so I'm looking at this Royal Blackwood, and they're calling it a sustainable ebony replacement. And turns out it's roasted purple heart. Now, purple heart, when you see it in its raw or recently machined form, it's purple. It doesn't stay purple. It turns orange. And it's neat to look at when it's fresh, but like I've never wanted to use it for anything because it turns orange. And however, the roasted part of the purple heart, it turns it black. Like throughout the entire board, it is black. It is blackety black, y'all. Maybe somebody will get that CB4 reference. And yeah, I mean, it like when you sand it, it's the dust is black. It's a little purple. It's got like a little bit of a purple kind of cast to it. But that's cool. That's all right. And so other than the color, what makes it great? what makes it work for fretboards? Well, like, it's hard. Uh, that helps. And it's visually, Purple Heart is it's a little more porous, like rosewood. So it's kind of like, visually, it's kind of like if you had like super black rosewood. So like it's not as tight grained as ebony, but like, who cares? Anyway, I like it. So when LMI closed its doors, Stuart McDonald bought like their remaining stock, and then I would buy, as much of it as I could at any time. And then they had a problem like trying to source it because it's not super common yet. But they have some, and so I've been using it, and I like it. Now, as far as machining it, it machines well. It does get splintery, so I'm often like, I gotta be careful with the stuff because like the splinters are just gnarly. Like whenever I get one in my hand, it's invariably super deep, and I've got to like just like slice it out of my hand, and it's bloody and gross, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, so I like roasted Purple Heart. There's another product that I've tried called Obsidian Ebony that comes out of a place called Thermal Wood in Canada, and they supply pretty much like 90% of, if not more, of the roasted maple used in the guitar industry. So as we were talking about what I'm wondering will happen with tariffs and that sort of thing, here's a whole other side of it. So what was I going to say? Roasted maple. Oh yeah, and so like they've got this thing where that they call Obsidian Ebony, which it starts out as roasted maple, and it is. It's roasted, and then there are maybe some resins that are kind of like impregnated into the wood, and it's also really black. It looks a little bit more like ebony than roasted Purple Heart does, but I don't. I know that there are some people out there using it, and this has nothing to do with the people that are offering the product because they're super nice, and I like them. But I don't think like my experience in using it hasn't been great. In that, and I spoke with them at this past NAMM again, and shared my feedback, and they're working on some of these things, so that's good. But like one of the things is like the stuff smells like chemicals, like it's real stinky, and so that's not great. But it goes away as you kind of work with it and sand it and stuff like that. It isn't like the pieces that I've had. One of them, like the color, it does mostly go through, but this is also kind of interesting, is like you could see like highlights of roasted maple. It's kind of like how right now I've got roots, or you could say it's old man highlights. So we'll try and get to that soon, but it was kind of like that, where it was like, it looked like it's ebony with roasted maple highlights, which I thought was cool. And it makes it look more like a natural wood kind of thing, which is cool. However, like it's real hard, like, which you want, but pressing in frets wasn't real pleasant. And drilling side dots, we had some blowout, which that's bad. So for now, I'm just gonna stick with the roasted Purple Heart and encourage people as they submit custom quote requests to give it a shot. Because like if I'm just building something like as a spec build, I'm using, like if it's going to have a dark fretboard, I'm using roasted Purple Heart, just because I've got it, and the blanks are thick, which is good because I got to fly cut both sides, make sure they're perfectly flat, and then radius. And sometimes with a Floyd shelf, you got to make sure that the fretboard's a little bit taller so you can have your little Floyd shelf, and things like that. So sometimes when I get ebony fretboard blanks from various suppliers, they're like almost exactly at like the final thickness that you would use for like a non-lock, like a fretboard with a non-locking nut. So it's like I can't always like, hey, I bought this, but it doesn't look like I can use it, which kind of sucks. So that is my whole thing about roasted Purple Heart. I like it, and I encourage you to get into it, as our pal Uncle Ben Eller says. Here's another one that I was trying to address this, but I couldn't find it. Oops, wait. Let's edit that. Let's edit this and let's get rid of it. Dave, a different Dave. Oops, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Failed Sully designs, bodies, headstocks, features, the good, the bad, and the fugly. Well, I'm sure that depending on who you ask, I'm already making ugly guitars. I've seen the internet. So, there is that. And the as far as like, there are models that we made that I don't like, which have been discontinued. There have been like headstock designs that I haven't used because, like, and sketching them out, it was kind of like, I don't think so. I really wish that I could find these drawings that I was looking for, because one of them is the rawest version of what became the Raven headstock. It was a 3/3 kind of thing. And what's interesting is I've seen versions or things that look similar somewhat recently. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I had some concerns about the design as it was, which is why I didn't take it any further. But as far as like failed features, I can't really think of anything right now. And as far as like, when I say all of this, I'm not trying to say that I don't make mistakes. I constantly, nobody can fuck something up like I can. Nobody. That's truly what makes it me. Is boy, I really fuck. So part of the process of making a guitar involves problem solving, specifically like when maybe something blows out on the machine because we're working with organic material here and it happens. How are you going to fix it? How do you make it better? But like that is one of the things that I decided very early on when I started sharing this stuff with you lovely people, is not to share don't post your fuck ups. Not because I'm afraid of people seeing my mistakes, because that is not true. But if I'm at the time, new to the market, trying to earn your trust, posting a lot of stuff that is like, oh, well, fuck this one up. Whoa, want to order a guitar? No, I don't. So, you have to kind of be cognizant of that. Ooh, it's a little early for a word like cognizant, but maybe it isn't. The good and the bad. Yeah, so there is some stuff that I've had rolling around in my head, like that I kind of want to do a version of my very first electric guitar, which stylistically is very on what I do. And so that's kind of a reason why I haven't really taken it further. But it's kind of like if I had another guitar company, that would probably work for that. But I don't, and I don't want another guitar company. Sometimes I don't want this one. And so that's the best answer I got. I really wish that I could find the sketches, but I can't. So I did my best. What do we have? Oh, wait, hang on. Sorry, we've got comments on top of comments. Let me get rid of this. Hide. Sean McCloskey. Rose and Purple Art is the bomb. I'm happy with it. That is not how he really sounds. Yeah, that's on your Stardust, right? Michael Bjork. Hey. Michael, where are you watching us? What part of the world are you in? I haven't seen an ugly guitar. Oh, there have been some where I'm like, I don't know about that one. But yeah. Morning, Noodles. Assad coming in with the CB4. He got the reference. I like it. Nothing cooler than a guitar with a purple heart. Gotta go, customers. All right, yeah. Get some work done. Royal Blackwood is what I want for the Stardust clone of that Trella behind you. All right. Opinions on maple as a body wood. I've got a Rhodes that's made out of maple. George Lynch loves maple-bodied guitars. I think some of his ESPs were maple. I mean, yeah, we can do it. Probably gonna be heavy, unless we get like soft maple, which is generally lighter. Oh, what do we have? Okay. Catfish, that's very sweet of you. So rich light. I don't like using rich light. I said it. The only thing that I don't like, the reason that I don't want to use rich light, I have used rich light in the past. I don't want to use it going forward, is because they don't want you to use wood glue with it. They want you to use epoxy. And I'm not gonna, I am unwilling is the word, to start using other things for one little thing. Like, I don't want to interrupt the process of what we normally do and the way that we make guitars just because I need to do something specific for like this fretboard. Like, let's say we're making 5 necks and it's like, oh, we're going to glue all these things up. Oh, but this one needs epoxy. I don't want to do it. So yeah. These aren't the drawings here. They weren't. No, but I've got the rest of my day open. That guitar is resonant. It is. And it's even, got a Floyd on it. This smells like banjo talk. I don't know. Can we see the lovely one on the couch? Yeah, that's I had this out. This is an incredibly old guitar. This is a very early Raven back. I guess when we were calling them RC Customs. This is Bolt On. I remember this was the 6th guitar I completed. Okay, so you can see this contour here just because you can see the shine line right there. I did this with a Dremel on the balcony of my apartment. Oh, nice. Michael's in Sweden. That's cool. Mrs. Selly used to go, she used to teach an ice skating camp for a few summers in Gävle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And she loved it. Yeah, so this was, like on a Dremel, like those little sanding drums. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I did this with. Not, I mean, like it's what I roughed it in with, and then sanded it out. Like it's fucking flat. And I painted this in the first garage, which you never saw because I wasn't filming stuff. So this is probably 2004, 2005, and when I've told this story before that it's a spalted maple top, and boy, the clear really spalted maple just sucks stuff up like a sponge. I'm running out of time. So years ago, I was having paint work done by some local guys that had a paint shop. They did car stuff, and it worked. I would go there and watch them do the work, and that's kind of learned by osmosis. And we got to the point where they're like, we're spending way too much time on this. We can't do this. We can't continue to do this for you. I'm like, well, okay, can we finish what we've got? I'm like, no. So this was in process at the time. And so, yeah, I remember, I have a picture of the body hanging in the garage after I painted it black and before the clear went on. But yeah, the clear, like spalted maple, it soaks it up like a sponge. But yeah, so I sold this, oh gosh, 14,000 years ago, and lived in Germany for almost 14,000 years. And the owner was parting ways with stuff. And so I'm like, yeah, all right. Okay. So that's what we got there. Okay. Mark says, good morning. Good morning. Played a maple ESP. The thing was suitable for an upper body workout every time you picked it up. See, if you get like hard maple, which is what's most common, like rock maple, which is what necks are usually made out of, that'll happen. Soft maple is much lighter usually. Mark, good morning. Michael Emkin is smiley. Todd says, hello. And I say hello. We're winding down here. I didn't really get to answer a whole bunch of questions. Well, there weren't a whole bunch of questions, but Michael, so you're here. You said, how about that time you climbed down through a ceiling trapdoor in a diner from a post-apocalyptic future, which had an inexplicable number of dancers in animal skins? I don't know if that's a movie reference. If it's not, you have quite an imagination. That was a formidable scenario. And that's not even the proper use of formidable, but whatever. I'm doing my best. You do your best.